Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so things are in progress, no big surprise, but now we dive in a bit deeper into the travel landscape. We come with best practices, with real best practices from real experts in travel and in technology. And I think we have a great lineup. Olaf is already here, so we start with Deutsche Lufthansa, and we start with Head of Global Retail Partnerships, Dr. Olaf Backofen.
Yes.
Olaf, great to have you here. Stage is yours.
Hi, Dirk. Thank you very much for welcoming me here. I hope the sound is working. My name is Olaf. I'm heading what we call the Global Retail Airline Partnerships for the Lufthansa Group. That's all about Lufthansa, Swiss, Austrian, and the other brands we're having in the group. And the key goal is to manage the partnerships such as OTAs, Google, Microsoft, and others from the commercial part. And I would like to give you a short overview today about what we are doing here with the partners, how to innovate with the partners, and also focusing and showing you a few of the GenAI use cases we are doing. Before doing so, I would like to go into the presentation. I think it's on there. Great, thanks. And first of all, I would like to think that it's important to start with the customer, because we have so many topics we can do with AI, but always the question should be also what do the customers want? Also their efficiency cases, but especially on this inspiration side and others, it's important to see the customers. So some few facts over here. On one side, there are really encouraging facts. For example, there's a number from Focuswire, 50–60% of the travelers are using GenAI and conversational search. On the other side, we did a market research. We asked our customers, would you like to rather do the booking or the inspiration classically, meaning you go into the fields, or do you want to do it conversationally? So we are comparing both ones. And still, the majority, 60% of the customers were saying, I prefer the traditional way. Should this discourage us? Not at all. Maybe the tool was not as good. Maybe the customers are not as ready. But it's something we have to take into account. And one of the big threats is, of course, trust. So that means we have to be really looking that it works. We need to test. We need to learn. So very short, just an overview about the travel ecosystem. I think you know all about that. There is a big change. The travel ecosystem is really in disruption. So some years ago, we know we had the process. The customer went to Google probably, maybe to a meta search, and they get inspiration there, and then hopefully went to do a booking on Lufthansa or Swiss.com. And this is being on a dramatic change. So we see new players. We see, of course, always call it the platforms of the world, like Gemini, like ChatGPT. There are also, of course, social media coming in, and all of that is changing. And this means that we need to cooperate. So our conclusion out of that is we need to work closer together. I'm seeing some of our partners here and friends, but very important that we need to cooperate and collaborate with the partners, because that's something we cannot do on our own as an airline group, even being one of the biggest airlines in Europe. So I would like now to show you a few examples, 3 use cases we are doing together with our partners with regards to GenAI. So to start with, as you know, we have so you might imagine, we all have, of course, a good relationship with Google. We have a strategic cooperation with Google. And just to show one example over here, this is about content creation and newsletter. So we started first to send a newsletter, for example, for a new destination. One was created by a human, another one was created together with Google by GenAI. We defined KPIs. We were asking the customers which of the ones of the newsletter did you like most. And after a few days of training, it was that all the KPIs of the GenAI-generated newsletter were by far better. Also, the customer feedback was better on that. Similar, we do content creation. That's just an example. What do you think, which of the images is GenAI created? Any opinion? Who's thinking right side? Yeah, most of you are right. The right side is GenAI generated, and it also shows, of course, one topic is about efficiency, but it's even more about quality. We want to improve the quality, we want to do personalized offers, and that's what we can do by GenAI really successfully. It's managing all the complexity we're having. As I mentioned, we are more than 12 airlines, we have brand guidelines, we have data privacy issues and all of that, so this can be handled by GenAI. We're having other examples of cooperation with Google. It's the whole spectrum, starting from Lufthansa Technics to, as I say, show here with marketing. There's some use cases we're doing in operational optimization, which is good to optimize the flight routings, also to improve sustainability offers as an airline, very important topic, and that's what we're also doing together with Google. Second example, I would like to show you, that's something we are doing together with Microsoft. We call it the claim summarizer. So as you might know, hopefully you have not experienced it, airlines in general, but also Lufthansa Group are not very good in handling claims, especially when there are weather circumstances, if there are a crisis or whatsoever. So that means we need to improve on claims management. And together with Microsoft, we have developed a tool, which is the claim summarizer. So the claims coming by email are usually very long, unstructured, sometimes also emotionally, and in different languages. So the tool is enabling us to get a very structured input for the agent. And in the end, we're measuring it, all about KPIs. Was that we said that the productivity or the time which is being used to work on the claim is 75% reduced just using the tool. Third example, which is new, which I would like also to introduce here on the ITB. This is about conversational booking. Of course, we're also looking into inspiration, we're looking into bookings, we're looking into servicing. But many or most of the customers going on our web pages are more or less decided where they want to go. We also look into inspiration, but booking is a very important part. It's not easy to introduce a conversational booking solution, not only because of the GenAI part, but also because of the technical topics behind. So here we are cooperating with Swifty. I don't know if you all have heard about Swifty, but Swifty is one of our startups we're having within the Innovation Hub. The CEO and founder is over here. Stanislav, my friend, is just there if you have questions afterwards. Swifty, in a nutshell, is basically providing you conversational options for SMEs and other customers, combining bookings and doing bookings. So, going to this case, and I will show you it here. We will start it as a pilot. It's testing, pilot case on Swiss.com. And we use Swifty to to provide the bookings. So it works like this. I hope the video will work.
Hello ITB, I'm Stanislav, co-founder of Swifty, and I'm here to tell you how the new integration of Swifty and Swiss will allow you to book your flights within 1 minute extremely efficiently with AI. You can start by sending a voice message. For example, I'd like to go from Berlin to Zurich next week, Monday to Friday. Give me Swiss flights. So we received our flight options, and now we can simply select one of those, or let's try to change up things and ask for a business class. Can I get a business class flight? You can use any structured parameters for your searches and filters and put them in your voice or text message in order to get the best results. We got a couple of options, so let's book one. Can you get me a 6:40 p.m. flight? Let's select an option back. And now with a simple OK, we confirm our booking. And the only thing left is to input our credit card on the payment link. However, let's not do that right now. And instead, we can ask a question. Does my flight include luggage? Please go ahead and use it today on Swiss.com in certain markets, and safe travel.
Okay, as you can see, it was more or less possible to do a booking within 1 minute. I know there are many different, of course, challenges if you want to book a stopover, if you want to have special questions. So I'm not saying that this is perfect, but what is the key topic? We want to test and we want to learn. So that means we will go live with this. It will be a test case, so we will be doing A/B testing, so we will not see this live for everybody. Certain countries, in 7 countries we will go live. We will have like 50% of the customers will see these options, the others not, and then we will compare it. Do we expect a lot of additional bookings? Probably not in the beginning. It will be more an additional offer to the customer. But I think it's important because we want to learn, we want to test before we want to get into a more really thorough solution, which will probably take a lot of investments and a lot of time. And so it's a great way to test it. This is also, by the way, possible to do inspiration. It's also getting more and more enriched about using, for example, further questions on information. That's what we want to add as well. It's, of course, not easy to find all the information on the web pages to ask which terminal is Lufthansa departing, on which is costing a ticket refund on Brussels or this and that. this is something which could be in further extension modes. So to sum it up very quickly in a few statements. So what does it mean? First of all, maybe it's a bold statement, maybe we'll say that's evident, we don't know it all, but I think the future is conversational. I firmly believe that it will not completely substitute, of course, the classical modern way, but I think if you look ahead a few years, also if you look to Gen Z and further market research, I think it will be just a normal option to have a conversational option on the web pages. Let's see how the future will be. Maybe it's faster than we think, but I think that's what's important for us as airlines, but as every .com business has to offer this option. Number two, efficiency drives commercial. So what I mean with this is, do we create new additional bookings with this kind of commercial options? Probably not many. Hopefully yes, but probably no. So I think the commercial impact is definitely higher on the efficiency cases. So that means, for example, if I showed you the claim summarizer, but we are having another use cases, how we can create efficiency that could be in operational topics. As I said, that can be on the agent side. Important to say, there we still always have a human in between, the AI and the customer. Maybe this will change, but just to start with, for us it's important also as a premium airline to have still an agent, or let's say a human between, to control and to see what is the output and is it really adequate. Third topic, maybe sound evident to you, but I think it's the key topic of AI from our perspective, also with regards to airlines. Search will change. We are all, as customers, as airlines, happy to get rich traffic from Google and from the meta search. It's a great contribution, but for me, a key question is how that will change, having now Gemini, having ChatGPT. Will they commercialize it? We will see it. So what is the future of search? And that's, I think, essential question, especially for airlines, but all other eco partners who also receive a lot of traffic from them, from those platforms probably in the future. Last but not least, I think, as you know, the technology is getting far has a high speed. Yeah, we're now already speaking about agentic AI, and there are more and more topics coming on every day. And for us, it's very difficult to just catch up with the speed, how the technology is going on. So that means, for example, we're just trying solutions, as I showed you, with GenAI, with conversational, and the technology is already ahead of that. Yeah, maybe with agentic AI is offering future new solutions. So what does it mean? I think important on one side to collaborate, to co-create with the partners, because we cannot do our own. But I would even go a step further. I think it's a collaboration-wide industry needed. So like we, for example, in airline industry, we have IATA, we have maybe other boards, and I think there's some topics which goes beyond the competition with our other airlines or competitors. I think it needs a collaboration between airlines, between the tech partners, between, for example, Google, Microsoft, and others, and also other providers, of course, maybe the GDS play a role into this. I think it's such a big topic which will clearly revolutionize the industry, which requires industry-wide collaboration. That's the overview from my side, a little bit of what we are doing in Lufthansa Group with regards to retailing and AI, with a focus on what is our innovation story with partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Olaf. You're starting conversational bookings. That's the news, and we see us later on in our panel.
Absolutely.
So thanks a lot. And we go over from the airline side to the tour operator side. We have the market leader. Please welcome André Exner. He's the Group IT Director for AI Analytics and Innovation from TUI Group. André, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Thanks a lot. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really amazing, so many people, so no free seats, even queues outside, so AI is really the topic of the day. Okay, so let's look into some more best practices, and my name is André Exner, and I head AI Analytics and Innovation at TUI. So first things first, I hope you know TUI, or you even have traveled with TUI. In case not, TUI is a global operating company. We are vertically integrated. We have our own cruise ships, hotels, aircrafts, and our own travel agencies. COVID hit us hard, just like the whole industry, but we are back on track with revenue and also benefit. So I would like to start into the topic of AI and share how we think about AI and what really drives AI. And these are four main drivers for our strategy. And first, for almost, of course, our customers, our customer behavior. The customer behavior is changing. We learned that from Google just in the session before. So AI is part of our daily lives, in the car, at home, at your mobile phone. And so it's not just an opportunity for us, it's a must. We have to change. Our customers are just expecting that from us. And even a bigger change, I think, will be, today we talk a lot about customer experience and search. Well, that's good. But tomorrow we have to think about agent experience, because it will not be the customer coming to your website and to your app. It will be a personal agent of everyone. And that agent might have very different expectations. And then, of course, our own stuff. It's about productivity, efficiency, and this can only work if we really scale AI in the company. AI has to be in every single corner. Everyone needs to understand the opportunity of AI. And then, of course, we have the fast developments across the industry from all big tech players every day, every week. And of course, we also look to our competition and what's going on there. And there are short-term things, low-hanging fruits that we try to catch. And then, of course, long-term, the whole disruption AI brings. A brief history. So I think for AI, the first wave of big data, I would say 10 years ago, was very important. Because without data, there's no AI. And so we started with a big data lake in 2014. And in 2016, we had our first machine learning project optimizing the flight-only pricing. And since then, it was kind of a niche. It was really developed across the company. So it's kind of commodity. It's normal already. And it's also important not just to have the tooling or to implement all the solutions. It's also very important to have the governance in place, because it comes also with some kind of risks. And we've built an organization around it. We have an AI lab, we have prototyping teams and platform teams to take care of that. And now there's, of course, agentic AI, and this will be the next step for our solutions. All right, so now to the first use case, and this is the TUI AI assistant. AI is just a tool. And maybe we don't talk about AI anymore tomorrow because it's such commodity. And it's only beneficial when it comes together with domain knowledge, with the people's roles, so the things they want to solve. And we have to bring that together. And that only works if it's really easy accessible, if it's just a click away. And that's where we created the TUI AI assistant for. So welcome Alfred, it's our little mascot. For the AI assistant. And you could say, well, there's ChatGPT. That's just fine. But it isn't. It's not secure. You cannot upload your data into ChatGPT. And you always start on greenfield. You have to put your full prompt, your full context. It has no idea of your individual information, your individual context. You cannot share it, really. And it's quite expensive if you think of thousands of licenses. And that is what we have addressed with the TUI AI assistant. It's a platform, it's just a click, and everyone can create its very own assistant. Let's say you have a new travel policy. You describe what you want this assistant to do, explain the travel policy, for example, you upload it, and then you can share it with others, and it's ready for use. So we have quite some adoption. So more than 1,500 assistants have been created across the company. And yeah, we even have a general assistant, which is then just like any other ChatGPT. And it's powered by the most powerful large language models out there. On top of it, we have a market store, a marketplace. So before you create your own assistant, you can have a look on the assistants that are already available, created by our people. And talking about people, as mentioned, this is really important to train your staff so that everyone gets in touch with AI. And everyone has a different approach to learning, and so that's not a one-time effort. It's something that you need really ongoing. Of course, e-learnings, marathons, hackathons, you name it. And something I want to highlight is, first of all, the AI champions. So every business area has AI champions, which connect to the tech teams and make sure that also, or every single business unit is AI enabled. And then the AI Learning Week. So it was a full week of trainings, of sessions, and it was from colleagues for colleagues. So no trainers, no coaches, just our people sharing their experiences. Now to the next example. So I already mentioned we have 1,200 retail stores. And we have hundreds of calls every day to our contact center. Sometimes small issues, let's say, what's the baggage limit of something? Sometimes more complicated. A round trip has to be rebooked. And that means like supporting more than 500 processes for our travel agents or our contact center agents. And even though they are absolutely skilled, it often means like, okay, I understand the problem, I will come back to you. And this is a pity because the customer might sit right in front of the travel agent and just has to wait for the answer. And now with our TUI Agent Assist, an AI will join the call after consent, of course, will transcribe the call for the contact center agent, and will look up in real time, so we'll understand what the issue is, what the ask is, and we'll look up the solution in real time and present it to the contact center agent, so that most of the asks can be solved just in the call. And so this is really disruptive, and this has really changed and brought down the handling times of these kind of cases. All right. I would say now the most important topic, not only for us, but for the whole industry, and I think we heard it before in the sessions, and we call it the future of search. If I think of generative AI, so this big disruption now a few years already ago, I don't think the big step was now image generation or text generation or so. I think the biggest change was that there's now a very different interface between humans and machines. So far you had forms or codes or whatsoever. It was very difficult to talk to systems, but now it's native language, and that has really changed everything. And so we have a whole program around that to bring that forward and to understand how search could work. But so far, I would say, search hasn't changed for quite some years. So we have this traditional input fields, and lots of them are mandatory. Even though I don't know where to go, I have to put where I want to go. I can filter, yes, but then I have 50 criteria, which makes it very difficult, and that's often not really personalized. And if you think of SEO today, so search engine optimization, which is still a big thing, of course, we now have to move to agent optimization or even Gen AI agent optimization. So it is really important to change the way of thinking of search, also in terms of digital marketing. And they are quick wins that we found out. So just a simple example here from for room upgrades. So website, typical website, you have an offer list of hotels, you pick an hotel, and you get a random room offer, a double room, for example. If you're lucky, you get a family room because the system understood that you are traveling with your kids. And then, especially in dynamic, if you have products from bed banks, then you get 150 room alternatives. And some are even named crazy. Doesn't help at all. So what we did, we trained a model out of the experience that we had from our bookings and our customers, and we now suggest and propose a good room update. And so you don't have to be, as a customer, you don't have to go through this 150 alternatives anymore. Most of the times you get just the right offer. And that's good for conversion, of course, but it's also good to train the model even more and further. But more important, and we have seen a similar example, I would say, from Lufthansa just now, it's the TUI AI Holiday Assistant, which we have just rolled out in the UK, in the app, 100%. And it's a conversational search in parallel to the traditional search. So as a customer, you still have the choice if you want to go the traditional way or if you want to have this conversation. And it gives you, so that you don't have to start on greenfield, it gives you some selected questions you can choose from, and then you can speak or you can type to the system, and then, of course, as soon as possible, as soon as we think we have enough information, you get a hotel carousel, and then, of course, you can go into the booking funnel, which is then, of course, just the same as in the traditional search. I hope it plays. Okay, should be video, doesn't play, it's okay. It was just like what I've explained. And not only that, I mentioned already that it is really a program. And the conversational search is just a part of it. We're thinking of curated holidays. Of course, now with AI, it's much better to understand it, easier to understand all the content that we have, all the customer interaction we have, and bring that together and propose even more tailored and personalized trips to our customers. AI travel planners, so during the travel. And AI digital twin, what does this mean? So we recently had a hotel opening from our new brand, The Mirror. And of course, you can do excursions there, and we have reps there that suggest and propose excursions. But they cannot work 24/7. So we did some interviews, we trained a model with it, and now we have a chatbot. And if you're just in the middle of the night, you wake up and you think, okay, what should I do tomorrow? You just go to WhatsApp, or you go directly to this conversational chatbot, and you give it a go, and you will get an excursion and can book it. So it's really across the customer flywheel. And if you think of personalization, there's even more. So in every touch point with our customer, I think there has to be an AI solution for tomorrow. It is a bit of trial and error, of course, I think. And we must fail fast. We must have really fast iterations, because maybe 8 of 10 ideas will not work, but maybe 2, and they are beneficial. So we absolutely have to be fast. Thank you very much.
And you are fast, André. Thanks a lot. You're in time, and we learned from Google, AI is everywhere. Now we learn from TUI, AI is everywhere. So we continue on this in our panel discussion. But before we do so, we have another great best practice. Please welcome Michael Guimet. He's the Senior Product Manager Co-Pilot from Microsoft. And you stay in the travel industry, and you explain a little bit about the efficiency in the airline industry. Michael, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Dirk, for the introduction. So as Dirk was saying, I'm a Senior Product Manager in M365 Co-Pilot ecosystem. And that means I work with Microsoft customers and partners to deliver AI solutions that drive both innovation and efficiency. And since I'm that involved with customers, I definitely want to know a bit about what you think. So I'm going to start off with a question. I'm going to ask you all, how do you think Oh, you can scan the QR code to answer on your mobile. But how do you all think that AI will transform the travel industry the most in the next 12 months? Is it going to be enhancing customer experiences, maybe using conversational interfaces like we saw with my colleagues earlier? Is it going to be personalizing travel recommendations based on data? Or maybe it'll be optimizing business processes to achieve operational efficiency, and seems to be winning, not anymore, or transforming business strategies for key players in the industry. I'll give you about a minute so you can all vote. We seem to be having a winner. I'll just give you a few more seconds, see if... OK, thank you very much all for your votes. It's interesting to see personalizing travel recommendations up high. I think that and also enhancing customer experiences are areas that key players in the industry are exploring AI to really drive value in those areas. But today I'd like to focus on optimizing operational efficiency. As I think it will give us exciting opportunities for value generation with AI in the next few months. So today I'm going to be talking about that. Thanks, everyone, for your answers. So 2 years ago, I was traveling for the first time to Japan. And not knowing the country, I actually asked Copilot to help me organize my trip. And it came back to me with a day-to-day itinerary based on my preferences that I used for the trip. Now, this was 2 years ago, and this interaction really made me realize the remarkable potential of AI to transform the travel experience. Today, we are experiencing a major shift in tech solutions for travel. We are moving from cloud computing all the way to AI. And when there's such a shift, it's important to understand the underlying forces behind it and what is the context for that shift. And in the case of this shift from cloud computing to AI, the context and the underlying force are scaling laws. Now, as we saw with Moore's law, where we saw a doubling of computing power every 18 months, with AI, we see performance double every 6 months. Now, this incredible growth is not only going to transform the travel industry, but it will also convert and transform all other industries by driving innovation and transformation at an unprecedented pace. Now, at Microsoft, we envision Copilot as a central interface for AI, the UI for AI. And now employees all have a Copilot that knows them and their work, and that helps them really drive productivity, enhance their creativity, and ultimately save time. As an example, Amadeus, one of our first travel industry customers using M365 Copilot, has recently launched Copilot for 10,000 employees, so they've onboarded them onto Copilot. And with a 94% usage rate, they have basically driven this by comprehensive learning resources and dedicated support for their users. They are leveraging the full capabilities of Copilot. And I know that many companies, many of you are using Copilot as a personal assistant today. But today, I want to discuss how you can actually extend that value with the Copilot extensibility platform. So new AI capabilities allow us to build agents to extend the value of Copilot. Like many of you know, agents are AI assistants that work with individuals, teams, and organizations to really are based on specific knowledge and can answer questions out of that specific knowledge, can also perform actions and execute tasks on your behalf, and will be able to do so autonomously in the future. And through Copilot, we can access this new agentic world. There's a whole tapestry of agents going from personal agents that are focusing mostly on productivity all the way across to cross-organizational agents. These agents will transform the way we collaborate across companies. And I want to highlight business process agents, as they'll be really impacting the travel industry and all industries really in the next few months, and is where I see there's a lot of, personally I see a lot of value being achieved through these kinds of agents. And in fact, these agents are already delivering a lot of value to our travel customers. In particular, Air India. Air India is leveraging Microsoft Copilot to optimize their operations and move ahead in the airline industry. They've integrated Copilot agents into their business processes, and that's helped them address legacy issues and gain detailed insights into their operational data, such as flight performance or operations management data, to ultimately improve the quality of their service and impact also customer satisfaction. Many of you know, I'm imagining there's some airline people in the room, many of you know that coordinating and managing an airline operation, coordinating these costly resources such as aircraft or crews, really creates vast amounts of data. A lot of data comes out of these kind of operations, and human analysis of this data is impractical. It's difficult to extract a lot of insight out of this data, so Air India has decided to use AI to do just that. So now Copilot agents let team leads extract the conclusions and understand complex data through natural language. So that means they can ask questions directly to an agent, and that agent will respond in an easy to understand way. And when you take multiple departments within Air India, all accessing real-time data and understanding that data immediately with agents, this significantly improves their operational efficiency. At Microsoft, we've worked with them to create these Copilot agents as part of their digital transformation. Now, operational delays and other issues are not only identified quickly, but also addressed effectively and resolved effectively. Let's see an example. For example, we can imagine an operations manager diving into flight performance data, finding and discovering causes for delays, and being able, with the information provided by the agent, to make decisions with clarity and speed. And this initiative is being widely adopted at Air India. Leadership has ensured that all departments jump onto agents and reassess their business processes to see where AI can bring value. And not only have they given this opportunity to all departments, but they've provided a support system around it. This is very important. Change management is very important for any AI project. In the case of Air India, that means having tailored trainings for each of the departments before they start building agents, so they understand what they can do and what to expect from the platform. And also having developer meetings, ongoing developer meetings, as the project goes along, so they can share across departments the learnings and the use cases that they have found that agents are bringing value for. And Air India is not only improving their operational efficiency, but they have also been working on other projects, similar to what my colleagues presented earlier, where they are looking, a couple of weeks ago, they presented this new initiative where they're looking into the customer journey, finding different touch points of that journey with Air India, and seeing how agents can actually provide some value there. They've launched their first agent in that program, which is the customer service agent, and that's been very successful. So not only are they focusing on the back office, but also this initiative has been wider than that, though today, obviously, I've been focusing on this business process optimization, which I think is going to be key over the next few months. So by embracing Copilot agents, Air India is not only improving its operational efficiency, but it's also setting a standard, a new standard of how to use AI and data to achieve business success in the travel industry. But let's hear it from them. Let's see what they have to say in this video.
Air India is India's national flag carrier. We are in a mode of completely transforming that airline into something that is one of the best airlines in the world. All the departments in the airline work together to solve the problems that we encounter on a daily basis so that our guests can get a flawless experience when they fly Air India. That includes making sure that the planes are available, they are ready to fly. The airline is a massive data generator. For a human being to go through and understand and act upon this data is becoming increasingly difficult. That is where we want artificial intelligence and in particular generative AI to come in and play a role so that we can make sense of this data and quickly take a decision and have a direct impact on our operations. On-time performance is a critical key performance indicator and in fact captures the customer experience and the operational excellence in one single unified parameter. We have developed Microsoft Copilot's plugin on Teams, so that is related to the on-time performance of the airline. Copilot allows you to unearth their insights and Teams allow you to act on those insights immediately by connecting with your colleagues anywhere they are in the world. Users may ask a natural language question saying that, tell me the top 3 reasons that on-time performance was not as good as I expected to be today. Copilot has the ability to delve into the data and say that, predominantly it was an issue with ground handling. You can immediately talk to a colleague in ground handling, or you can immediately find out the status of crew if they're coming from a different flight. All that can happen quickly on Teams. Copilot now is helping us tell the story behind the data. Once we start connecting more and more data sources, Copilot could be the front end for the entire data in the company. As soon as an executive walks into his office in the morning, they may want to know if the on-time performance of the airline is where it needs to be. And imagine the power that will have for somebody like our CEO, who can essentially get the answer from a single source. We are all aiming to move towards a situation where the planes are taking off on time and landing on time so that customers reach their destinations on time. We want customers to think of Air India when they want to travel anywhere in the world. Using Microsoft Copilot is helping every individual do what they're doing in a better way to make sure that our guests get a perfect experience.
So things are moving fast in the world of AI, and I encourage you all to follow the advancements of AI over the next few months so you can find the right time to make the right decisions of when to use AI at your company. I think that in the next few months, we will see agents blossom into their full capabilities by completing actions autonomously and even reacting proactively to real-world events. I suggest that you look at what AI can do for you today. Like we've talked about AI assistants such as Copilot, not only because of their core capabilities, but also being able to extend with agents to add additional value to the platform. So explore what these services can do for you today. And that's easier than ever with Copilot now, because we launched a few weeks back Copilot Chat, which is our free tier for Copilot. So everyone can now try out Copilot and different agents on it. And finally, if you have specific questions, specific use cases that are only unique to you, look into the Copilot extensibility platform. And even using Copilot Studio, you can do that with low code or even no code and build agents that will help you drive AI value in your company. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. And I wish you all the best with your AI initiatives. And I'm looking forward to speak with my colleagues following the presentation.
That's what we're doing, Michael. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dirk.
If you like, have a seat already, just because we start a short wrap-up discussion. And I'm glad to have André and Olaf back again on stage. So welcome, guys. Have a seat. And I think it's really time to breathe a bit and to wrap up the things that you presented, just because without any surprise, AI is pretty complex on the one side, and it seems to become really everywhere. In efficiency, in bookings, in a how do you call it, omni-modal interface at TUI, for instance, and also in your workforce. So where to start was, I think, Olaf, when we begin with you, conversational booking. It sounds still a bit weird to book complex things such as flights, voice-based only. What we saw on the screen, it's not voice-based only, it's still the let's say, old-fashioned screen. I don't want to be unpolite, but we see a lot of hair still, and we have the voice over on it. So is is this the future, or is the future voice only?
First of all, I think I really don't know. And that's the reason why I think it's very important to test. So whenever you do not know, it's better to test and to learn. On the other side, I think you're absolutely right. It's different if you buy a ticket, which could be 5,000 euro or so, than buying a chocolate on the internet. But I think this will be so inherent, for also especially the Gen Z and the new generation, that I personally think, as I said, the future is conversational. So if you ask me, yes.
Okay.
And so we need to test.
So forget the complexity, AI will regulate it, and people will trust in the long term, or in
long journey. I think it's a long journey. Of course, we have to avoid and to reduce hallucination. We have to test in this. I think it's indeed a long journey, also on the tech side, but I think it will come.
Yeah, okay. André, you presented a wide bunch of AI tools and applications within the TUI Group. It's on the one hand side, it's the internal TUI AI assistant toolbox, let's call it, for rising the internal efficiency. On the other hand, it's the holiday assistance for the customers. You also mentioned one model interface which might come in the future. Don't ask when, but you can answer this if you like. But my question is, what's most important currently? Is it efficiency, or is it internal efficiency, let's say, or is it inspiration, customer satisfaction, customer dialogue? What's your focus currently?
I would say it's the future of search. So of course, efficiency, these are the more quick wins, I think. But the future of search, as for us, as for the industry, it's really important to understand what comes next. So think of, I think it was yesterday, Telecom said they will launch a new mobile phone that has no apps. So, and we today rely on apps, of course, but if there are no apps anymore, you just talk to your phone and it does what you want to do, then of course we want to have our share in it. We want to make sure that ChatGPT comes to us, that these telecom models come to us, and so therefore I would say it's the most difficult piece, because you don't want to tackle your conversion rate. That's very sensible, but you have to try things out and bring that forward.
Yeah, but I have to ask, without going into internal things, but this omni-modal interface you show, is it a vision, or is it in progress already?
You can do that, I think.
Okay.
So that's as I mentioned, WhatsApp and speech and voice. So that's there. But you spoke and asked about adoption. I think this will take time.
Yeah.
Think of, there was the internet, and nobody was thinking of, I would never book my travel in the internet. That became normal. Then the mobile phones. Everyone said, like, a 5,000 euro travel, I will never book that on app, I will just do it on my desktop. And now people are doing that. And I think just the next step is now AI. Today I would say, well, 5,000 euro travel, I will not do that with AI, but people will.
Okay. Michael, you presented Air India. Of course, we all know Microsoft has a lot more customers than Air India, no doubt about this. But if we stay on Air India, the focus is in optimizing the operations. It's in efficiency. Do you see this currently as a core value in the AI usage, or is it changing up to other topics?
I think André, like André was mentioning, these are the quick wins, right? This is where we can get value over the next few months, is in optimizing business processes and really ensuring that AI is used to really extract value in the short term. Obviously, the vision and the more experimental side of it is also very interesting, and I am very happy that my co-presenters covered those, because I'm also working on those kind of projects. But I thought today that was important to get people land on AI and start using AI to really extract value today. And I think the quickest way to do that today is going into your company and looking at your processes and seeing where AI can help. Because I think in the end, there's two kinds of AI projects, right?
Yeah.
From the user perspective, the AI project that the user knows they're using AI, and the AI project the user does not know they're using AI. When they don't know they're using AI, like in a situation where a chat is already happening, like with a customer service or something like that, people will accept AI with no problem whatsoever. And another case would be maybe behind the button, right? You can't see what's happening. So people are happy to use this, no problem. When people are presented with search, AI search, there's what you were mentioning earlier, a trust. issue comes
Yes.
into play, right?
It was
it's a
Olaf's
mixture-
point, indeed. Yeah.
It's a mixture of very high expectations because I'm using AI, so I'm expecting this to be an awesome experience, and at the same time, a trust. And we'll have to find ways to build that, and like you were saying, experimenting, finding how we can convince users to make that switch that they've already done onto the internet and onto the mobile, now onto AI.
Olaf.
Just to add on the topic, I think it's also to look what are new opportunities, because we think a lot about risks and challenges, but I think it's also to see there will be completely new opportunities for our customers. If you think on how many apps you have to go today if you travel from a certain destination, be it a taxi app, be it the Lufthansa Group app, be it a France app, whatsoever, and if you imagine if that would be all out of one hand, this is something which could be connected via conversational approaches, and other topics, if you combine what you find on Google Maps, what you find on Google Search, and all of that goes together, you also have to think not only about the risks and the challenges, but I think there are also it's huge new opportunities for the customers, but also for the companies.
Okay, final question goes a little bit about autonomous agents, just because we're talking about this more briefly in the next session. So, but André, you mentioned also already the agent experience is coming. So
Yes.
we have a slight idea what autonomous agents can do. Julia also says they don't replace travel agents, but what precisely are they doing, and will they be able to book travel when precisely? When do you think they start booking the travel experiences?
Yeah, in terms of timings, I think it's difficult. You can even do that today, so everyone can have kind of personal assistant. It's a matter of trust. So the models are good in text, as we know. They're good in images, but they are not good in numbers, as an example. And so talking about agents, you have to also make sure that they understand what they see, that they understand what they do. So coming back to trust, I think it will take some time. And I think the term assistant says it all. So at least for today and for the foreseeable future, it is an assistant. It helps you. It gets the work away that you maybe don't want to do, and you can just focus on the things you're good in. And really this puts more emphasis on the skills you have, and you have assistants that do kind of burden work.
Take it a little bit more simple. There are still humans behind, you said, in the conservationist booking at Lufthansa or at Swiss in this case. For how long, Olaf?
We don't know. I think it depends much on the testing side.
Yes.
It depends on the use cases. There are some cases where you can easier or sooner get the direct contact between AI. And if you imagine that there's something which is really important in the sense you cannot allow hallucinations, there you will still need a human. But coming to the agentic piece, I think that's something which will be the next step, I think. And we really don't know. We just see the top of the iceberg at this stage, what the agentic means. Also with regards to your question, with agentic, maybe there will be better solutions to have the GenAI or the AI tool directly in contact with the customer.
Yeah. You can ask this to our tech provider. What do you think? I think we all agree that booking is the most complex ever we see here in this industry, and probably it's the most complex in the whole industry. So when will it be ready for booking?
It's definitely an interesting use case. It's complex. Technically, I think we're mostly there. I don't think there's so much. In the next few months, I'm sure that we will be able to achieve this. Where I think the question lies is when will people really adopt and trust that the responses are better than what they would have done searching, and that it's worth to trust the model. There's a small part to go on the technical side, that's for sure. But I wouldn't put it more than a few months away.
Okay, we stay on this question in our next sessions. When are we ready for booking? Thanks a lot to André Exner, to Olaf Backofen, and to Michael Guimet. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
Thank you,
the
Dirk.
invitation.
Thanks.
Thank you.